Over the last couple of weeks, we've been in this monster swamp in Brazil called the Pantanal, putting in hour upon hour of observation. 4 teams of cameras and Jaguar trackers have scoured the length and breadth of this massive river for any signs that might betray the camouflage of this legendary big cat. Yesterday, our efforts were rewarded with my first ever Jaguar encounter. And now, unbelievably, we've had a radio tip-off that another Jaguar's been spotted not too far away.
And now we are speeding downriver. We've had a radio call about 1 or 2 others on the bank. Jaguars are definitely one of the most elusive cats to see in the whole world, and we could be onto some more if we can get there in time.
The news makes my heart pound as I'm beginning to learn from my adventures on this river. When you get the call that there's a Jaguar in the area, it's a race against the clock to get to the cat before it vanishes into the forest.
Elas estão debaixo da última árvore ali grande e os 2 barcos estão desse lado ali. Vai sempre bem adiante.
Marcos, what's the news?
They are underneath.
Marcos, our head Jaguar tracker, tells me that not 1 but 2 Jaguars were seen about 5 minutes ago. If we can get to these cats in time, this may prove to be one of the most exciting filming encounters of my life. That's how rare Jaguar sightings are. This time round, I've been foiled once again by these elusive cats. But Steve, one of our cameramen, was in position early. Just before my boat arrived, he filmed incredibly rare and precious pictures of these 2 gorgeous Jaguar cubs. Steve only had fleeting moments to film, but it's brilliant to see his snapshot of 2 healthy young Jaguars. It's beyond our wildest dreams to film these animals, and it brings a real joy to know that these endangered super predators are thriving here in the Pantanal. It looks to me as though these cats will be ready to mate probably in a year or so. Fantastic. I'm in the middle of nowhere and loving every minute of this monster swamp adventure. Just yesterday, I was in the right place at the right time and succeeded in fulfilling a lifelong dream of meeting a Jaguar face to face in the wild.
There it is. Just laying on the bank. She's just nonchalantly looking at us. Straw yellow eyes. And there, my first ever Jaguar. And what a magnificent animal.
The film crew and I were absolutely cock-a-hoop to film this magnificent predator.
Largest cat in South America, of course. And the way she just disappeared into the forest there. Wow, it really makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. A real reverberating sound goes right through you.
This is an unbelievably privileged experience. Few people have seen these creatures in the wild. Countless film crews have spent years trying to film Jaguars and have not seen so much as the swish of a tail.
This has been an astounding animal encounter. I'm never going to forget it.
I was almost within touching distance of a big male Jaguar taking an afternoon swim. I'm the cat that got the cream. My crew keep reminding me that I'm the luckiest wildlife presenter in the world. My fortune of seeing Jaguars in the wild is unprecedented. So good, in fact, I'm extending my stay on the river for another 5 days in the hope that my run of outrageous luck will continue and I'll get more chances to meet these magnificent predators. I'm living in a jungle base camp on the bank of the Cuiabá River in Brazil. It's 300 miles of murky brown water that cuts through the northern region of the Pantanal called the Mato Grosso. What makes my mission of meeting the jaguar such a joy is the overwhelming abundance of life on the river. The Pantanal is the largest wetland in the world. It's not only the best place on Earth to see jaguars, it's also home to a mind-boggling diversity of exotic wildlife. There's over 600,000 capybara here. It's wonderful to watch the family antics of these highly social giant rodents.
Another lovely family of capybara. They're everywhere on the Pantanal. You can see there's 3 young ones there, and they're off away from the river to have a browse on vegetation.
One of the delights I've been loving every afternoon is the sight of these beautifully elegant birds. I'm hoping I can show you some really close-up shots, because skimmers have an extraordinary way of hunting food.
We're coming to this beach here not to do some sunbathing, because as you can see, there's a delightful colony of black skimmers, birds with probably the strangest bills of any in the world. The lower part of the beak, the lower mandible, is much longer than the upper part. See that as they swoop past me here, and how they use those remarkable beaks? Well, to see that, we need to find out where they're fishing, and it looks like there's a fishing party going off here. Right behind me. Hey!
Skimmers have a unique hunting technique. I find their precision flying absolutely extraordinary.
Now you can see exactly why black skimmers are called skimmers and why they have that remarkable bill, unique in the bird world to have that long lower mandible. Here comes another. This is obviously a favourite fishing spot. Skimming across the surface of the water, ploughing that lower mandible through the surface. Touch sensitive. If they feel a little fish moving, whack, the beak snaps shut. And there's 3 here flying in formation. This is tremendous. To see this behaviour so close up, they're making the most of this shrivelling pool and the fish trapped inside. Wow. God. What I'm going to do is get a lower view of this, and then they'll be coming straight towards me. Oh, this is tremendous stuff. They're ploughing a furrow through the water. Lovely formation flying. I wonder whether it helps them to fly together like this, so their neighbour may frighten a shoal of fish and the others are prepared to catch it. Slicing that lower mandible through the surface.
What brilliant birds. I'm so glad we've been able to film them fishing. Skimmers are flying aces. Such good anglers, they can even hunt for fish in the pitch black of night. I'm in the Pantanal in Brazil. My mission, to find a jaguar. In order to maximise our chances of filming the elusive big cat, we've got to put in the time. That means working into the small hours of the night. That's because jaguars are highly active after dark. My torch is a powerful tool for picking out the eye shine reflecting from a prowling jaguar's gaze. It's incredible just how active the river is at night. But tonight, like all nights so far, no jaguar joy. Our base camp is also alive with jungle nightlife. Tonight, I'm putting sleep on hold because massive toads come out to hunt for insects. I just have to show you their intriguing technique for catching prey.
The camp is teeming with these giant toads. They're called marine toads. Grow to be over 15 centimetres long. They gather around the camp because insects are attracted to the lights, and these things snaffle up any moths or beetles that get within range. How they do that is they've got a sticky tongue. They shoot that out really fast.
Wallop! He snagged a beetle. Let's have a look at that again.
But a toad this size could actually swallow a prey item as large as a mouse. In Australia, these amphibians are called cane toads. They were introduced there by us and they've become an absolute menace. That's because they were put into a country where they don't belong. The animals there aren't adapted to cope with these very poisonous creatures. You can see on the side of the head these big glands, they're called parotid glands. They exude a really noxious poison. If you're an Australian snake or an Australian marsupial, not used to dealing with these poisonous creatures, if you swallowed one, you've got no immunity to the poison and you die. And that's the problem with these toads. They're spreading all across Australia and having a major effect on the native wildlife. But it's great to see them here in Brazil. This is where they belong. Every time we come back from an unsuccessful jaguar hunt, these little chaps are waiting for us. Beautiful eyes. See those lovely big eyes? Oh, did you see that? Just zapped a moth. They are so fast, split-second timing when they're catching insects. Did you enjoy that? Let's see if he likes a bit of a tickle. Yeah, as you imagine, dry, warty skin. And I say, I'm in no danger from getting poison on my hand because the toad doesn't feel threatened. It's not producing the poison from these big glands on the side of its head. Got a lovely call in the breeding season, this great reverberating croak that you can hear all over South America. You have a good night's hunting.
Day 9 on the river and the temperature's soaring. It's furnace hot and the river's gone quiet. It's siesta time.
It's sweltering hot, 39 degrees centigrade, around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Any jaguar with any sense would be in deep shade. And this looks perfect for me too, a lovely shady spot. Look at this, perfect. Bliss. I love these peaceful moments in the wild, even though it's the middle of the day. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of animals trying to cool down like I am. There's a lovely Cayman over there. And it's basking in the sun, but it's got its mouth open so they can lose excess heat through the membranes in their mouth. And there's a kingfisher. There's a kingfisher doing the same thing. Over here, they open their beak, lose heat through the inside of their mouth. And that's a black-collared hawk calling. And you just hear little rustles. And there's a grey-necked woodrail. I love those beady red eye just looking at me through the vegetation. Hello, little thing. I'm not going to frighten you. Beautiful, great long legs, and they live in the vegetation, feed on small insects. And a beady, bright red eye. It's one of my favourites. Over there, just sticking its head above the water, an anhinga, commonly called the snake bird, head and neck, very snake-like, and it's got a fish. What they do is they jab at fish with their sharp bills under the water, propel themselves fast, very manoeuvrable when they're beneath the surface. And it's caught a fish. It's having difficulty trying to get the fish off its beak. Cormorants catch fish by opening their bills, and hingas, snake birds, they actually stab their fish, impale them on the end of the beak. And there, it's got it off, and it's swallowing down its catch.
The snakebird, hanging its waterlogged wings out to dry in the sun, must be one of the most alluring sights of the Pantanal. They do this because the weight of water absorbed in the feathers after a fishing trip makes flying near impossible. This bird may have to dry out in the sun for an hour or so before its feathers are dry enough for flying.
Could sit here all day, but we got a jaguar to find.
It's now 4 p.m. and our boat-to-boat radios are buzzing with news of jaguar sightings. The cooling air has brought out yet another jaguar onto the riverbank, and once again we're in the right place at the right time to film.
This is astonishing. It took us a long time to see our first jaguar. And just up ahead there's a water buffalo, and you can just see the head of another jaguar. Now, whether it's going to hunt or not, I doubt. It doesn't seem to be in hunting mode, but this is a great opportunity to get a close view. It's a very shallow lake off the main river, so the water's so shallow we've got to paddle, but not making any noise could help us approach.
This is my third jaguar encounter in less than 24 hours, and we're only about 2 miles from where Steve filmed those beautiful cubs yesterday afternoon.
I don't believe that. The buffalo got out of the water and the jaguar just turned tail and ran away. So obviously, at least for this jaguar, a buffalo is too big a prey item for it. Jaguar's gone. The jaguar's back. It was spooked by the buffalo, but obviously it likes this vantage point on the river. Maybe it's waiting for a capybara or something. That's one of their favourite prey items in the Pantanal. And it's just watching the river. And if we're lucky, we could get really close.
The jaguar's gaze is completely fixed on this massive water buffalo. The big cat looks on edge. Buffalo are powerful, and their horns can inflict severe damage. Because of the risk of injury, jaguars rarely attack water buffalo. Now the jaguar can relax.
This is the closest yet. He's right out in the open. And you can see what a stockily built cat the jaguar is. They reach 100 kilograms in the Pantanal. That's more than I weigh, but I wouldn't fancy my chances with them. They are so powerful. Can't help thinking about the power of those jaws. Jaguars in captivity, they've actually bitten into a bowling ball and made quarter-inch dents into the hard plastic, so they really are powerful biters. The native Indian name for the jaguar is the killer that hunts its prey with a single bound. He could be in the boat in a couple of seconds if he wanted to, but jaguars rarely kill people. Fatalities are when they're defending their prey or defending a hunting area. There's very few jaguars that become habitual man-eaters. But what a privilege this is. Just flicking his tail, he's so relaxed with us here. They are beautiful cats. These lovely big rosettes on their fur, a spot inside each rosette, beautifully marked. Off he goes. What a spectacular sighting. Iguana! Wow! What a catch. He was making a run for it to the river. That's how these green iguanas escape predators, swim away. Sometimes they hang in the overhanging vegetation above the river and then drop down if they're threatened. And this is a real South American classic. Remind me of living dinosaurs with these lovely spines along their backs. This is a male. Also got this big dewlap here, which he uses for displaying if there's a female or another male nearby. He actually moves his throat backwards and forwards. And they can grow to be as long as I'm tall, nearly 2 meters. Mainly feed on vegetation, love fruit and succulent leaves. He's probably patrolling this beach in search of females. They dig their nests here. They can lay up to 65 eggs in a clutch. The average is about 30 though. And perhaps he was looking for a female to mate with. But incredible animals, pretty sharp claws. They use them like grappling irons when they're climbing in the trees. Strafed my arm there, but you didn't mean to hurt me, did you? I'm gonna let him go now, and he'll swim away. Off you go, little boy.
Green iguanas are superb swimmers. They move through the water with powerful strokes of their tail. It's great to see them in the wild because sadly these beautiful animals can be victims of the pet trade. Although it's highly illegal, poachers continue to remove thousands of iguanas a year to feed the black market. Up to 10 million Cayman live in the Pantanal's network of rivers and swamps.
What I'm doing here is Cayman. Much deeper mud than I thought. Hey, this Cayman seems very relaxed. And what I'm going to do, see if I can lay next to it so you can get an idea of its size. It's worth a try, wasn't it? Off he goes.
You're never far from these predators. They bask in the sun for hours at a time, charging their solar batteries, slipping back into the water when they're ready to hunt, mainly for fish and amphibians. Males vie for dominance. The bigger they are, the higher they are in the biting order, the more females they'll get. Even with their armoured skins, they find blood-sucking flies irritating. Cayman numbers are on the rise, especially now hunting's been banned here in the Pantanal. And that's great news for the jaguar. These prehistoric reptiles might look like killing machines, but believe it or not, they're a favourite snack for the big cats. I'm thinking I've had my last sighting of the elusive jaguar. My run of luck has surely got to end, but who knows? When you're on a winning streak, it's hard to stop playing the game. We've still got a couple of days left on this leg of my adventure, so we'll definitely keep on the hunt for jaguars. Many creatures, including jaguars, depend upon the thick vegetation that flanks the rivers. These ribbons of rainforest run all the way up to the Amazon in the north, a network of natural highways. The Pantanal is just 5,000 years old, but in that time all sorts of creatures, such as these brown capuchin monkeys, have ventured down the highway and into the swamp. Intelligent and versatile, they're quick to take advantage of any new opportunity. Other animals have arrived from the dry south too. The result is an exotic cocktail of creatures from all over South America. This part of the world is every bit as exotic as the Amazon, and for a bird nut like me, it's paradise. There's more than 650 species of birds here. This chirpy character is a South American favourite. It's the national bird of Argentina because of its astonishing nest-building skills.
And here's the jaunty little bird I've been waiting for, a Rufous hornero. The local name is the oven bird. That's because when that nest is complete, it will look exactly like an old-fashioned oven. Found in many parts of South America, the oven bird. In fact, the Rufous hornero, is the national bird of Argentina. Can't help admire these birds for their hard work and the homes that they build. They certainly sussed out wattle and daub housing way before people did. And the bird in the nest is calling. Her mates up there, they both work together to build these nests. Back he or she goes again. There's no way of telling a male or a female until the nest is complete. And when that happens, it's always the female that sleeps in the nest throughout the night with the eggs and the babies. The male goes and sleeps in a tree. And this is a marvellous nest. It takes 18 days to construct. Both birds in the pair work at building it. And the remarkable thing is, it's a lot of work for a home that's only used once. They rebuild their nest every single year, and these nests are so strong, they can take 2 or 3 years to disintegrate. Before my adventure here is over, I hope to see a finished nest.
Jaguar hunting isn't all about high adrenaline boat chases. When the sun's at its hottest, everything grinds to a halt. A perfect chance to catch up on Jaguar journals, recharge our batteries and plan our next move. But I don't think the camera crew knows how to relax. With the luck we're having, who knows what we'll find next. The lads must be ready for anything. Naturally, as hardened explorers, Marcos and I are poised to spring into action at any moment. It's quite a relief when the clouds arrive and the temperature drops. In the Pantanal, there's always something to brighten up a gloomy afternoon.
Turn the engine off, please. Listen, that's what I love about the tropics. This wonderful soundtrack. It's mainly birds. There's over 650 species here in the Pantanal, 200 more than in Britain. You can hear a black-capped Donocobius. They live in marshes. A wonderful song. The main noise is coming from this colony of beautiful birds. They're called yellow-rumped caciques. You can see the nests hanging down there just like pouches. And male yellow-rumped caciques, they mimic the songs and calls of other birds. That's because the male caciques with the biggest vocabularies get the best mates and nesting territories. If they know a lot of other bird songs, it means they're experienced, they've been around for a long time, and that's attractive to the females. There's one flying in there, constant toing and froing between the nests. There's birds singing at the top of nests to their mates below. Listen to that. Yellow-rumped caciques always nest over water. That gives them extra security. It's hard for predators to get to them when they're nesting over water. And they've also got an extra security force. You can see that shape hanging down there. There's a giant nest of bees. And if I tried to climb the tree, the insects would attack me. The caciques know that, so they always try to build their colonies near where there's a wasp's nest. And they know they've got an extra security force.
It's our last day on the Cuerva River, and we can't resist a last sneaky look round some of the familiar haunts of the jaguar. And bingo, what do you know? A jaguar's out on the bank.
This is where we saw the jaguar and the water buffalo yesterday. And it obviously likes this spot. There it is again, right at the edge of the water, right out in the open on the grass. And what we're going to try to do is get even closer. It was so unfazed by us yesterday. I think we may even be able to get within 6 feet of it.
Hang on, I don't think this is the jaguar we saw yesterday.
Not sure whether this is a male or a female. It's hard to sex jaguars. The females are just slightly smaller than an adult male. Now I can see what sex she is. A female. As she went away, the males we've seen, big dangling family jewels. Can't see that on her, so this is definitely a female, and I wonder where she's going.
There's a lot of jaguar traffic on the riverbank. A female today, a male yesterday. It's the mating season when jaguars are much more active looking for mates, which might explain why we've had such outrageously good luck filming them.
She just spotted something constantly alert. She heard a noise. Head was up. Maybe she's hunting. she goes.
The jaguar's on the move, and so are we. I hope we'll get another look at this magnificent animal on the other side of the peninsula, if we can get there in time. And there she is.
I wonder what she's after. In the Pantanal, there's a whole banquet for jaguars. They tackle anything from snakes to cows. And there's a jabiru stork taking a risk. They're walking right in front of her. They've been seen to kill over 85 kinds of animals. They certainly wouldn't turn down a bird. But he's safe.
As I've come to know and love the jaguars of the Pantanal, I've been astonished by the calmness of these cats. We're less than a boat length away, but she's completely nonchalant. It's as if we're not here. I presume her absolute confidence is because here jaguars are protected and not hunted by people. Because the big cat's not bothered by our presence, we're able to follow her every movement without distracting her from her daily routine of prowling the banks of the Cuyaba River. Jaguars are right at the top of the food chain. They prey on cayman, armadillos, capybara, insects, really just about anything they can lay their paws on.
There she is again. It's great to see her move. So graceful walking along the bank. And jaguars are about 1.2 metres long, the body length. But that tail is so graceful. She's swishing that from side to side. And she's moving with real purpose. I wonder if she's hungry. I wonder if she's about to hunt.
But they don't spend all their time in pursuit of prey. Even adults have a playful streak. This one is curious about a strange object she's found on the bank.
Even in wilderness like that, you can't get away from the hand of man. And she's playing with a bottle, just like a domestic cat at home. She's wondering what that is.
South America's top predator, behaving just like a big pussycat.
Rubbish is normally a problem in any environment, but for her, at least, the bottle is just like a toy. But I say, I'm sure she's hungry.
Off again, it seems she may be interested in hunting. The riverbank is a good lookout for potential prey. She's got no chance of making a kill now. The bush telegraph is in full swing. Everyone knows she's here.
Birds are making a real racket. They know there's a predator around, and the bird calls would have probably warned off any potential prey.
When I set out on this trip, I wasn't sure I'd catch even a glimpse of a jaguar. Now I've found one that's allowed me to watch her all afternoon.
Off she goes. She really does look hungry, but we can't follow her any longer. And even so, what a terrific load of encounters we've had. Jaguars, definitely one of the hardest big cats in the world to see. Until a couple of years ago, this would have been impossible. We've seen 4 of them, got really close, seen them in the water, seen them walking along the bank, seen them swishing flies with their tails. We could not have hoped for better than this. Thank you, Pantanal.
These 2 weeks on the Cuerva River have been totally exhilarating. My encounters with the glorious animals of the Pantanal have been wonderfully memorable. How can I ever forget swimming with a giant otter that's as long as I'm tall, and the sight of those incredible aerial acrobats, the skimmers. Unforgettable. I've been amazed at how close I can get to an abundance of animal action.
Do that.
I got my hands on a feisty tree snake.
Oh, stop that! Hey.
And then there was the beautiful river. Under the cloak of darkness, I entered a secret world of bats and cayman.
This is extraordinary.
I'd hoped to meet a jaguar prowling the Pantanal nights. Sadly, that wasn't to be. But who's complaining? In 4 short days, I had 4 outstanding jaguar encounters. On this adventure, I must have been the luckiest wildlife presenter in the world. Perhaps the best thing, though, are those thriving jaguar cubs. A really positive sign, at least in this region of the Pantanal, for the future of these majestic animals.
Time to move on. I'm a little sad about leaving. The Brazilians have been so friendly and helpful, really wanting us to see the jaguars, and we did have some awe-inspiring encounters. Steve, the cameraman over there, even managed to film some jaguar cubs, so at least on this reserve their prospects look good. But we're now going farther south, where scientists are studying them. I want to know how far they move a night, how big their territories are. It's also a place where there's conflicts between jaguars and people.
Next time on Jaguar Adventure, I journey to the heart of the Brazilian Wild West.
Very difficult to drive skidding all over the place.
I'm in the hotspot of a bitter conflict between cowboys and the big cat. It's a war that threatens the jaguar's survival.
They found a jaguar on a fresh kill.
To find out what can be done to save them, I join a crack team of trackers and find myself face to face with the predator. Join me for more Jaguar Adventures.